afternoon, morning, whatever time it may be in your area. I haven't prepared a speech because it's kind of spur of the moment. But with the election season already going into the last few weeks before the November 8th election day here in the United States, I think it's pretty much fitting to remember what some would be voting for, or who people will be voting for. We've already know that Hillary is pretty bad in terms of all the scandals that she's been brought on into. But sometimes we try to forget about Donald Trump and how his scandals and insults, even, especially his insults, have been broadcasted repeatedly and all that stuff. In fact, the New York Times pretty much went through his entire category ever since he declared his presidential candidacy in June of last year. He decided to use Twitter to just insult and bully and downright just be nasty of everything that has come across him. Pretty much just everything. Some of these insults were within the last 60 days, and the New York Times has categorized all of them. They read, they tagged, they quoted them all. 282 things that were insulted or are insults. And I'm going to try to read every one of them in a dry, live run. From candidates to celebrities to newspapers and to uncategorized things that he decided to insult. Some of these are in alphabetical order by name of the insult. And we're going to see how many of them would be true. Some of these are even linked to his... If you read along, some of these are even linked to actual statuses that are still up. And some of these are still documented even though he deleted them. First off, we deal with the Democratic presidential candidates. Shaffey Lincoln, former Rhode Island governor. Can anyone imagine Shaffey as president? No way. Clinton, Hillary Rodham, Democratic presidential nominee. Crooked, crooked, crooked. Failed all over the world. Loves to lie. She'll say anything and change nothing. Crooked. A Wall Street puppet. Has never created a job in her life. Crooked, crooked, crooked. A foreign policy disaster. You have failed, failed, failed. No solutions, no ideas, no credibility. Too weak to lead. The most corrupt person to ever run for the presidency of the United States. If we let crooked run the government, history will remember 2017 as the year America lost its independence. So crooked. Crooked, 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 crooked. Such a dishonest person. Crooked, crooked, crooked. So corrupt. Crooked, crooked. Should be in jail. Crooked. Pay to play politics. Crooked, crooked, crooked. Fraud. Crooked. Disgraceful behavior. Unfit to run. Crooked. Hypocrite. Hypocrite! Nothing Hillary has said about her secret server has been true. There has never been anything like your lies. If I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation. Crooked. Has only created jobs at the FBI and the Department of Justice. Crooked. Owed by Wall Street and politicians. Crooked. Nasty to Sanders supporters behind closed doors. Crooked, crooked. Suffers from bad judgment. Crooked. Terrible. Not getting the job done. Failing for 30 years. Crooked. Failed all over the world. A typical politician. All talk, no action. Taking the day off again, she needs the rest. Puts the plane behind her like I've been doing it from the beginning. Copying my airplane rallies. Crooked, crooked. Said horrible things about my supporters. So insulting to my supporters. Crooked, very dumb. Unfit to serve as hashtag President of the United States. Totally confused. Just gave a disastrous zoo conference. Lying. Crooked, 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 crooked. Doesn't have the strength or the stamina to make America great again. Doesn't have the drive or stamina to make America great again. Crooked. Has bad judgment. Brain power is highly overrated. Decision making is so bad. Crooked, crooked, crooked. Called African American youth super predators. Will never be able to solve the problems of poverty, education, and safety. Crooked. Sabotage the inner cities, all caps. Corruption, all caps. Only knows how to make a speech when it's a hit on me. No policy. Using the oldest play in the Dem playbook. All talk and no action. No action, all caps. Using race baiting. Pandering to the worst instincts in our society. She should be ashamed of herself. Crooked, fear-mongering, lies, lie, crooked, 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 not a talented person or politician. Crooked, 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 not fit to be our next president. Anybody whose mind short circuits is not fit to be our president. Short circuits, all caps. Looked up the word brainwashed. Brainwashed, all caps. Crooked, very dangerous. Bad judgment. Unfit to serve as president. Incompetent. Crooked, crooked, crooked. A pathological liar, all caps. 100% owned by her donors. Crooked, 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 crooked. Oh, God. Has a very small and enthusiastic crowds in Pennsylvania. Crooked, crooked, crooked. A formula for disaster. Crooked, crooked, crooked. Extraordinary bad judgment and instincts. A loose cannon. Couple more crookeds, a very long and very boring speech, more crookeds, no one has worse judgment, corruption and devastation follows her, owned by Wall Street, unfit to lead country, crooked, wants to flood our country with Syrian immigrants that we know little or nothing about, more crookeds, liar, incompetent, more crookeds, betrayed by Bernie voters, more crookeds, judgment so bad, more crookeds, not all loyal, more crookeds, bad judgment, all caps. Crooked, killed jobs, crooked, destroyed jobs in manufacturing, against steel workers and miners, more crookeds. Look at all of the bad decisions she has made. Crooked, led Obama into bad decisions, more crookeds. Brought and paid for by Wall Street lobbyists and Wall Street's lobbyists and special interests, will sell our country down the tubes, has made so many mistakes. Crooked, a disaster on foreign policy, embarrassed herself and the country with her email lies. More crookeds, email lies, negative ads are not true, more crookeds, fraudulent, having zero impact, sad, lying, not qualified, more crookeds, not qualified, weak leadership, lies, lying crooked, a little bit change up here, more crookeds, so guilty, lied to the FBI and to the people of our country, dishonest, very bad judgment, incompetent, not fit, her temperament is weak, bad judgment, all caps, unfit to serve as president, more crookeds, as usual, bad judgment, total disgrace, guilty as hell, will never be able to handle the complexities and danger of ISIS, more crookeds. As Bernie Sanders says, Hillary Clinton has bad judgment. Bill's meeting was probably initiated and demanded by Hillary. Selling out to America, not capable. Presidency will be catastrophic. Bad judgment, ill fit, lying, more crookeds. Such bad judgment, no sense of markets, more crookeds. Disgraceful, bad judgment, crookeds. All talk, no action, would be a disaster. Maybe the most corrupted person ever to seek presidency. More crookeds, will be a disaster for the jobs and economy, dangerous, defrauded America, corrupt, dishonest. Judgment has killed thousands, unleashed ISIS, and wrecked the economy. Bad judgment, failed policies, totally unfit to be our president. Really bad judgment and temperament. More crookeds, will be a disaster. Total fraud, record so bad, unable to answer tough questions. More crookeds, very bad and destructive track record, unfit to be president. Poor leadership skills. Bad judgment, not honest, reading poorly from the teleprompter. Teleprompter looks like it might be misspelled. More crookeds. And this is just the start of the list. Bad performance. Doesn't even look presidential. No longer has credibility. Too much failure in office. Lying. More crookeds. Have many, many mistakes. Bad judgment. Zero natural talent. Decision-making ability. Zilch. Temperament is bad. Very stupid use of emails. Fraud. More crookeds. Bad judgment and temperament. Crooked even has one, all caps. Oh. Suffers from plain old bad judgment. Her judgment has been proven so bad. Would be 4 more years of stupidity. Not qualified. Wrong. Reckless and dangerous. More crookeds. Very dishonest. Has no chance. ISIS, China, Russia, all would love for her to be president. Zero imagination and even less stamina. More crookeds. A fraud. Can't close the deal with Bernie Sanders. Can't believe she would misrepresent the fact. More crookeds. Liar. Can't close the deal on crazy Bernie. Oh, now he's even insulting Bernie in this one too. More crookeds. Bad judgment. Pushing the false narrative that I want to raise taxes. Constantly playing the women's card. It is sad. Zero leadership ability. Bad judgment. Said she is used to dealing with men who get off the reservation. Actually, she has done poorly with such men. More crookeds. One of the all-time great enablers, perhaps the most dishonest person to have ever run for presidency. Unqualified for president. Incompetent. Most involved in corruption for most of her professional life. Who should star in a reboot of Liar Liar? Hillary Clinton or Ted Cruz? Let me know. Not presidential material. Major national security risks. Bad judgment. Lie last week. Does not have the strength or stamina to be president. Told flawed candidate. Stupidity. Pathetic. Sad. All caps. Lied at the debate last night. We need a hashtag president of the United States with great strength and stamina. Hillary does not have that. Lied. Disloyal person. No strength nor stamina. Weak and ineffective. Does not have the strength or stamina, all caps, to be president. Will be soundly defeated. Won't call out radical Islam. Afraid of Obama and the emails. All caps, she has no strength or stamina. Weak. Corruption at what she's best at. No strength or stamina. Totally incompetent as manager or leader. She looked lost. Her record is so bad. The trade deals is a disaster. She was always for it. 100% controlled. Just can't read speeches. Now for O'Malley Martin, former Maryland governor. Failed. A clown. Has very little chance. Sanders, Bernie, U.S. Senator. Did Bernie go home or go to sleep? He just wants to shut down and go home to bed. Waste of time. Totally sold out. Done a complete fold. Has totally given up on his fight for the people. Has lost his energy and his strength. Flamed out. No energy left. Exhausted. Sad. All caps. Just can't go on any longer. Ending really weak. Has abandoned his supporters. Selling out. Not true to himself. Has totally sold out. Crazy. Is lying when he says his disruptors aren't told to go to my events. Be careful, Bernie, or my supporters will go to yours. He would be so easy to beat. A disaster. Wacko. Very sad. Can't even defend his own microphone. And that's just within the Democratic Party. Then he goes after Republican presidential candidates, such as Bush, Jeb, former Florida governor. No wonder. Failed presidential candidate. Low energy. Just got a contact lenses and got rid of the glasses. He wants to look cool, but it's far too late. Just another clueless politician. Hypocrite. Has no clue. Failed campaign. How can @JebBush beat Hillary Clinton if he can't beat anyone else at hashtag GOP debate stage with $150 million? Lightweight. Spend a fortune on special interest against me in South Carolina. Lightweight. Desperate and sad. Weak. No chance. Gave up and enlisted mommy and his brother. Jeb failed as Jeb. Weak. By far the weakest of the lot. Has gone nasty with lies. Not a leader. Failed campaign. Sad. A pathetic figure. Desperate. Spent a fortune of Super Bowl interest money on a Super Bowl ad. Weak candidate. Zero communication skills. Had to bring in mommy to take a slap at me. Total disaster. Will do anything to stay at the trough. At the bottom of the barrel. Low energy guy. He should go home and relax. Low energy. Sad sack. Did poorly last night at the debate. Chances of winning are zero. Weak and ineffective. Campaign is a disaster. Low energy individual. Low energy stiff. Has no chance. The sad case. Total embarrassment to himself and his family. Took millions of dollars of hit ads on me. Spent 59 million and done. Failed candidate. Ridiculous. So sad. He's bottom and gone. I'm top by a lot. Poor. Real pathetic. Phony. Low energy. Weak. Campaign is a disaster. A loser. Can't win. Terrible on Face the Nation. A basket case. Ineffective. Weak. False advertising. Campaign's a disaster. Puppet. Catered. Puppet. If Jeb Bush were more competent, he could not have lost the skirmish with Marco Rubio. Stupid message. Very weak on illegal immigration. Campaign is in total disarray. Paid ridiculous amounts of money. If he can't manage his campaign, how can he manage our country's finances? Has a tiny 300-person crowd. Total loss. Too soft. Our country needs more energy and spirit than you can provide. Pathetic. Double Florida state debt. This has been confused for 40 years. Policies in Florida helped lead to its almost total collapse. 100% controlled, all caps. A failing campaign. Just can't get it right. Bad on women's health issues. Weak on illegal immigration. No more Bushes. Fell more than anybody. Is miserable. Just doesn't get it. We'll never secure border. We'll never make America great again. Carson, Ben, retired neurosurgeon. Incapable of understanding foreign policy. Very weak on illegal immigration. Many lies by Ben Carson. Pyramids built for grain storage. Don't people get it? Very weak on illegal immigration. Has never created a job in his life. Well, maybe a nurse. Very weak on illegal immigration. Chris, New Jersey governor. Spent all his time in New Hampshire. That's it. Cruz, Ted, the United States Senator. Lyon, he should drop out of the race. Stop wasting time and money. Sad. Made all sorts of crazy changes. Really went wacko today. Lyon, can't function under pressure. Not very presidential. Lyon, can never beat Hillary Clinton. Has no path to victory. Can never beat Hillary Clinton. Lyon, desperate. Weak. Has teamed up with a guy who openly can't stand him. Mathematically dead and totally desperate. Lyon. Drop out Lyon Ted. All he can do is be a spoiler. Never a nice thing to do. Hates New York. Lyon. Hillary would destroy him. Can't win the voters, so he has to sell himself to the bosses. Lyon. Can't get votes. I am millions ahead of him. Has to get his delegates from the Republican bosses. Shit, I lost. Oh, there we are. Will never be able to beat Hillary. Lyon. Despite a rigged delegate system, I am hundreds of delegates ahead of him. Attacks New Yorkers and New York values. We don't forget. Weak. Lose them big. Just another dishonest politician. Lyon. Mormons don't like liars. Lyon. Who should star in a reboot of Liar? Hillary Clinton or Ted Cruz? Again, from the Clinton one. Let me know. A big problem. Lyon, desperate, can't win. This line is getting worse. Lyon, bought and paid for the lobbyist. Lyon Ted, all caps. Another all talk, no action Paul. He has accomplished absolutely nothing. Lyon, choker, loser, nasty guy, liar, lies like a dog, over and over again. Does not have the right temperament to be a president. Temperament in quotes. Disloyal, biggest liar in politics. A world-class liar. A true low-life Paul. Lying, a liar. Complete and total liar. Holds the Bible high and then lies and misrepresents the facts. A cheater. Lies, all caps. Nasty. Cheater. I have standing to sue him for not being a natural born citizen. Lies so much and is so dishonest. The worst liar, crazy, or very dishonest. Caught cold lie. Should immediately be disqualified in Iowa. Just lied again. Told thousands of caucus goers or voters that Trump was strongly in favor of Obamacare and choice. A total lie. Fraud. Sent out voter violation certificate to thousands of voters. Didn't win Iowa. He legally stole it, lying on so many levels. Totally unelectable, deceptive, dishonest. Not one senator is endorsing Canada Ted. Can't get a senator like Ad Ben Sassy, who is easy to endorse him. Will do anything to stay at the trod, dropping like a rock, reckless, nervous wreck, not caring for the truth, in bed with Wall Street, puppet. People do not like Ted, nervous wreck, falling in the polls, spending millions on ads paid for by his New York bosses. Hypocrite, great dishonest. When will Ted Cruz give all the New York-based campaign contributions back to the special interests that control him? Hypocrite. Why did he accept money from people who espouse gay marriage? Says one thing for money, does another for votes. The ultimate hypocrite. Did not list on his personal disclosure form personally guaranteeing his loans from banks. They own him. The Ted Cruz wise guy apology to the people in New York is a disgrace. Not much of a reformer. Goldman Sachs owns him. Not believable. Not nice. Will speak behind my back, get caught, then deny it. Should not make statements behind closed doors to his bosses. He will fall like the others. I need a drink real quick. Bottle of tea near me, Jesus. Okay. Fiorina Carly, former business executive. VP candidate who failed badly. Running mate who was unable to catch on in her own failed campaign. Campaign is dead. Failing campaign. Terrible to business. Did such a horrible job. If you listen to Carly Fiona for more than 10 minutes straight, you develop a massive headache. Has zero chance. Graham Lindsay, United States Senator. Really sad. No honor. Failed presidential candidate. In the end, he had no support. I ran him out of the race like a little boy. All talk and no action. All caps. Should respect me. Failed presidential candidate. Nasty. Dumb mouthpiece. Got zero against me. No cred. Had zero in his presidential run before dropping out in disgrace. Embarrassed himself with his failed run for president. Embarrasses himself with endorsement of Bush. So easy to beat. Jindal, Bobby, former Louisiana governor. Spend $1,000 to register in New Hampshire and drop out the next day. Such a waste. Lightweight. Registered at less than 1% of the polls. Kasich, John, Ohio governor. Typical politician. Can't make a deal work. Mathematically dead and totally desperate. Will drop like a rock in the polls. Only looks okay in polls against Hillary because nobody views him as a threat and therefore has placed zero negative ads against him. Bought and paid for by lobbyists. Good for Mexico. Absentee governor. Doesn't have what it takes. Poor, can't debate, dummy. One of the worst presidential candidates in history. So easy to beat. Total failure. Total dud. Fell right into President Obama's trap on Obamacare. Almost last. He came in dead last. I will sue him just for fun. So irrelevant to the race. Pathetic. Failed image. Failed campaign and debating skills. Wasting time and money. Pataki, George, former New York governor. So easy to beat. Did a terrible job. Registers 0 in the polls. Terrible job. Couldn't be elected dog catcher if he ran again. Terrible governor of New York. One of the worst. Paul Rand, United States Senator. Failed presidential candidate. Made a fool of himself. Lowly. Didn't get the right gene. Lightweight. Why is that Rand Paul allowed to take advantage of the people of Kentucky? Truly weird. Reminds me of a spoiled brat without a properly functioning brain. I call him the kettle black there, Trump boy. Perry, Rick, former Texas governor. Did an absolute horrible job securing the border. Should be ashamed of himself. Failed on the border. Should be forced to take an IQ test. Doesn't understand what the word demagoguery means. Failed at the border. Needs a new pair of glasses. Rubio Marco, U.S. Senator. Bought and paid for by lobbyists. Will never make America great again. Highlighting his fucking motto again. Worst voting record in the U.S. Senate in many years. Lightweight, dishonest, scammy Florida. Dishonest lightweight, fraud lightweight, big loser lightweight, failed presidential candidate. Rubio puts out ad that my pilot was a drug dealer. Not true, not my pilot. A joke. Worst record. Never even shows up to vote. Interesting how my numbers have gone so far up since lightweight Mark Rubio has turned nasty. Love it. Lightweight. Phony. Treated America's ICE officers like absolute trash in order to pass Obama's amnesty. Gave amnesty to criminal aliens guilty of sexual offenses. Disgrace. All talk, no action. Another Washington, D.C. politician. Little. Poor work ethic. Little. Lightweight, no-show senator from Florida. Just another Washington politician. Centipede the puppet of the special interest Koch brothers. Little. Lightweight, no-show senator from Florida. Lightweight senator. Lightweight from Florida. Little. Lightweight. Not as smart as Cruz. Maybe an even bigger liar. More lightweights. Doesn't even show up for votes. Mr. Meltdown. A choker. Once a choker, always a choker. Mr. Meltdown. Another choker, always a choker. Lightweight, not presidential material. Looks like a little boy on stage. Repeated twice, not presidential material. Lightweight choker. Again. And lying. Very weak on illegal immigration. Lightweight choker. Again. Couldn't even respond properly to President Obama's State of the Union speech without pouring sweat and chugging water. In reference to that one video. A highly overrated politician. Cannot be president. Only won a debate in the minds of desperate people. Lightweight. Disloyal to Jeb. Weak on illegal immigration. Very weak on illegal immigration. Perfect little puppet. Very disloyal. Never made 10 cents. Then again, he never even had a small loan of $1 million. Totally controlled. Lazy. Worst voting record in Senate. All talk, no action. Very weak on stopping illegal immigration. Knows nothing about finance. Very weak on immigration. Incapable of making great trade deals. Lightweight. Rarely there to vote on a bill. Worst attendance record in the Senate. Won't allow anyone into the country. Weak on illegal immigration. Truly doesn't have a clue. Just another all talk, no action politician. Worst voting record in Sen. Worst voting record in Senate. Shit. Walker, Scott, Wisconsin governor. Puppet. Cratered. Massive deficit, bad job forecast, a mess. Not presidential material, not smart. Your very dumb fundraiser hit me very hard. Not smart. Now on to the Democratic politicians. Biden Jr. Biden, Joseph R. Jr. Not very bright. And that's the Vice President of the United States. Booker, Corey, U.S. Senator. If Cory Booker is the future of the Democratic Party, they have no future. I know more about Cory than he knows about himself. Cardin, Ben, U.S. Senator. It's politicians like Cardin that had destroyed Baltimore. Bill Clinton, former President of the United States. Wild Bill. There has never been anyone more abusive to women in politics. Highly overrated. What Bill did was stupid. The worst abuser of women in U.S. political history. Hypocrite. Terrible. Failed badly. Was called a racist. Demonstrated a penchant for sexism. So inappropriate. Both Bill and Hillary Clinton were called real predators in this. Kaine, Tim, Democratic vice presidential nominee. A joke, in pocket of Wall Street, owned by the banks, took hundreds of thousands of dollars in gifts. Liccardo, Sam, mayor of San Jose, California, did a terrible job. Nutter, Michael, former mayor of Philadelphia, doing a terrible job, low life, accrued dope. Obama, Barack Hussein, President of the United States, not a real deal maker, only makes bad deals. Should have gone to Louisiana days ago instead of golfing, too little too late. Disastrous judgment, perhaps the worst president in U.S. history. Doesn't have a clue, tries to destroy Israel with all his bad moves, lying in a world of make-believe. Weak leadership, failed, the worst president in U.S. history, again, weeks. Looks and sounds so ridiculous. Perhaps the worst president in U.S. history. Spends so much time speaking of the so-called carbon footprint, and yet he flies all the way to Hawaii on a massive old 747. What about you? Is our president insane? Has a horrible attitude. He is just so bad. I did much better on 60 Minutes last week than President Obama did tonight. Terrible, horrible, incompetent leader. All talk, no action. Hollowing out our military. Weak, ineffective. Rawlings Blake, Stephanie, mayor of Baltimore. A joke. Sellers, Bakari, former South Carolina congressman. Failed at CNN announcer. Walsh, Marty, mayor of Boston, waste a lot of time and money. Warren, Elizabeth, U.S. senator. Sad to watch. Bomb last night. Pocahontas, twice. Wanted the VP slot so badly, but wasn't chosen because she had done nothing in the Senate. Once again, Pocahontas. And there's like alternates between Pocahontas and Goofy. Very weak senator. Least productive senator in USA. In the U.S. Senate. Oh God. One of the least productive senators. Very racist. Nasty mouth. One of the least productive U.S. senators. All talk, no action. Total hypocrite. Low life. Doesn't have a clue. If it were up to goofy Elizabeth Warren, we'd have no jobs in America. Failed senator. Gets nothing done. Lied. Our Native American senator. Goofy couldn't care less about the American worker. Does nothing to help. Using the women's card. Didn't have the guts to run for president of the United States. Phony Native American heritage. Did not have the guts to run for POTUS again. Phony Native American heritage again. Has done nothing. One of the least effective senators in the entire U.S. Senate. Goofy, all talk, no action. Maybe heard Native American name. Does nothing. Weak and ineffective. Phony Native American heritage. Has a career totally based on a lie. Hillary Clinton's flunky. A fraud. More goofies than Pocahontas things. Schultz, Debbie Wasserman, U.S. Congresswoman. Highly neurotic and overrated. Weiner, Anthony D., former U.S. Congressman. Perv, sleazebag. De Blasio, Bill, Mayor of New York City. Worst mayor in the United States. Disgrace. Worst mayor in the United States. Inept. Worst mayor in the history of hashtag New York City. Republican politicians. Bush, George Sr., former President of the U.S. No more Bushes. Bush, George W., former President of the United States. World Trade Center came down during his watch. No more Bushes. Wants $120,000 to make a boring speech. Not nice. Flake, Jeff, U.S. Senator. Really sad. Very weak and ineffective senator. Sad. Weak. Haley, Nikki, South Carolina Governor. People of South Carolina are embarrassed by Nikki Haley. McCain, John, U.S. Senator. Begged for my support during his primary. I gave. He won. Very foul-mouthed. Has done nothing. I am no fan. All he does is go on television to talk, talk, talk. Incapable of doing anything. Has failed miserably. Let us down. Doing a lousy job in taking care of our vets. Graduated last in his class. Should be defeated in the primaries. Dummy. Ridge, Tom, former Pennsylvania governor. A failed Bushy and Pennsylvania governor. Shouldn't be allowed to do his biased commentary. Faulty thought process. Romney, Mitt. Come on, keep with your formula. Come on. Former Massachusetts governor. Really sad. Choked like a dog. Mixed up man, doesn't have a clue. No wonder he lost. Failed. Man who choked and let us all down. Failed presidential candidate. Let us all down in the last presidential race. Total joke. Everyone knows it. A disaster candidate who had no guts and choked. Why did Mitt Romney beg me for my endorsement 4 years ago? Doesn't know how to win. Desperate move by the man who should have easily beaten Barack Obama. Failed presidential candidate. Bad messenger for his stab. Didn't show his tax return until September 21st, 2012, and only after being humiliated by Harry Reid. I think. It says R at the end. Failed. One of the dumbest and worst candidates in the history of Republican politics. So awkward and goofy. I don't need his angry advice. Blew an election that should have never been lost. Terrible choke loss to Obama. He choked. Lost an election that should have easily won. Why would anyone listen to Mitt Romney? Ryan, Paul D., House Speaker. Does zilch. Doesn't know how to win. Always fight the Republican nominee. Very weak. Ineffective. Disloyal. Sass Ben, U.S. Senator. Really sad. Looks more like a gym rat than a U.S. Senator. How the hell does he even get elected? Totally ineffective. Scott, Rick, Florida Governor. Did really poor on television. Snoo, John, former New Hampshire Governor. Dummy. Couldn't get elected dog catcher. Forgot to mention my phenomenal business success rate. Now for journalists and figureheads. Media figures. By Matt, National Political Communist for Yahoo News. Dummy. Barbaro, Michael, reporter for the New York Times. Should resign. The author of the now discredited New York Times hit Piece on Me. The writer of the now proven false story. Beck, Glenn, TV and internet personality. Endorsement means nothing. Dumb as a rock. Crying. Lost all credibility. Failing. Irrelevant. Wacko. Failing. Crying. Lost soul. Sad. Has zero credibility. Very dumb and failing. Irrelevant. Mental basket case. Irrelevant. Viewers and ratings are way down. A real nut job. Always seems to be crying. Wacky. Beher, Joy. Morning talk show TV host. Fired from our last show for lack of ratings. Belkin, Lisa, Chief National Correspondent, Yahoo News, Lowlife. Blow, Charles, columnist, The New York Times, dishonest reporting. Bozo, Brent, President of Media Research Center, begging for money like a dog. Brooks, David, columnist, New York Times, clown, dummy, one of the dumbest of all pundits, no sense of the real world, is closing in on being the dumbest of them all, doesn't have a clue. Broody, Frank, columnist, New York Times, dope. Brzezinski, Mika, co-host of Morning Joe. Crazy and very dumb. Had a mental breakdown while talking about me. Crazy, very insecure, clown, off the wall, neurotic, not very bright, mess, has gone wild with hate. Cameron, Carl, reporter for Fox News. Consistently fumbles and misrepresents poll results. Has been so wrong and he hates it. Camerata, Allison, co-host of New Day. Disaster. Carter, Grannon, editor for Vanity Fair. Total loser, sloppy, gubby. Chozik, Amy, reporter for the New York Times. Third-rate reporter, totally in on the Hillary circle of bias. Cooper, Anderson, anchor, CNN, has the absolutely worst anti-Trump talking heads on his show. Keurig, Katie, global anchor for Yahoo News. Third-rate reporter, has been largely forgotten, should be ashamed of herself. Fraudulent editing. Cup, S.E., communist, flunky, one of the dumbest people in politics, one of the least talented people on television, boring and biased, total biased loser who doesn't have a clue, will be gone soon, hard to watch, zero talent, one of the dumber pundits on television. Deb, Sopran, reporter, CBS News, dishonest, should be fired, lied, dishonest. Deutsch, Donnie, television personality, a big failure in TV, irrelevant. Shit. Scrolling back up. Dowd, Maureen, columnist, New York Times. Crazy, wacky, pretends she knows me well. Wrong. Wacky, hardly knows me. Makes up things I never said. Boring interviews and column. A neurotic dope. Erickson, Eric, conservative commentator. Got fired like a dog from Red State. Ran Red State into the ground. No it factor. Total lowlife. Will fade fast. Fired like a dog. Just doesn't have it. A major sleaze and buffoon. Garrett, Major, White House correspondent, CBS News. Total agenda. Bad reporter. Covers me very inaccurately. Geist, Willie, host of Sunday Today. Uncomfortable looking. Goldberg, Bernard, journalist. Not good, doesn't know about winning. Gregory, David, political analyst for CNN. Got thrown off of TV by NBC. Fired like a dog. Not nice. Haberman, Maggie, journalist for the New York Times. Third-rate reporter. Totally in the Hillary circle of bias. Sad. Halberman, Mark, political analyst. Sleepy eyes. Does not have a natural instinct of politics. Ham, Mary Catherine, journalist. Isn't smart enough to know what's going on at the border. Harwood, John, chief Washington correspondent, CNBC, bombed. Hellenberger, Melinda, former editor-in-chief of Roll Call. Don't misrepresent in order to make a point. Hindenburger, Dan, deputy editor for Wall Street Journal's editorial page. Lies. Hewitt, Hugh, host of the Hugh Hewitt Show. Just a third-rate gotcha guy. Very low ratings. Horowitz, Jeff, reporter for the Associated Press. One of the worst reporters in the business. Wouldn't know the truth if it hit him in the face. Huffington, Ariana, founder of the Huffington Post. Dummy liberal clown. Hunt, Casey, political correspondent for MSNBC. Poor and purposely inaccurate reporting. Jackson, Haley, correspondent NBC News. Bad reporting. Oh, God. There we go. Kelly, Megan, anchor for Fox News. You have no idea what my strategy on ISIS is. Get your facts straight. Bad. Highly overrated. So average in so many ways. Crazy. Sick. Never worth watching. The most overrated person on TV. Is always complaining about Trump, yet she devotes her shows to me. Crazy. Highly overrated. Her bad show is a total hit piece on me. More crazy. Can't watch Crazy Megan anymore. Without me, her ratings would tank. Get a life, Megan. Lightweight reporter. I refuse to call Megyn Kelly a bimbo because that would not be politically correct. Okay. Lightweight reporter, so average in everyday lies. Sorry, so average in every way. Lies. Dopey. Highly overrated. Bad. Very bad at math. The most overrated actor. Really weird. She's being driven crazy. Don't watch her show. I don't watch. Had her two puppets say bad stuff. Should take another 11-day unscheduled vacation. Lightweight. Highly overrated. Really off her game. Not very good or professional. Really bombed tonight. King. John. Chief National Correspondent. CNN. Underachieving. Kowalski. Serge. Reporter for the New York Times. The reporter who pulled back from his 14-year-old, never retracted story is having fun. I don't know what he looks like and don't know him. Crosshummer, Charles, communist, biased, A at Fox News flunky, Iraqi warmonger, highly overrated, clown, dopey, should be fired, a dope, highly overrated. Crystal, Bill, editor for the Weekly Standard, dummy, an embarrassing loser, dopey, even dumber, a sad case, his predictions are always wrong, dopey, lost all credibility. How are we doing, guys? Am I going okay? 46 minutes into this shit. I think we might be halfway through this list. Shit. Don, okay, there we go. Lemon, Don, anchor for CNN, lightweight, dumb as a rock. Well, I can't really defeat you there. He has moments of dumb. Whew. Lamas, Tom, reporter for ABC News. Cannot report the news truthfully. Fraudulent story. Lowry, Rich, editor for the National Review. Clueless, incompetent, should not be allowed on TV. Truly one of the dumbest of the talking heads. Doesn't have a clue. Marcus, Ruth, columnist for the Washington Post. Never terrible today on Face the Nation. No focus, poor level on concentration. Martin, Jonathan, journalist of the New York Times. Not good reporting. Would be nice if @JMart New York Times NYT learned how to read the polls before writing his next story. Dishonest. McCain, Megan, host America Now and Fox News contributor. Terrible, angry, obnoxious. She will never make it on TV. McQuaid, Joe, publisher, New York Hampshire Union leader, dumb. Navarro, Anna, contributor for CNN, flunky, one of the dumbest people in politics, has no talent, no TV persona. O'Brien, Tim, journalist for Bloomberg, dumb guy with no clue, really stupid talking head, dopey writer. O'Connor, Claire, staff writer, Forbes, dummy writer. Seriously. O'Donnell, Lawrence, former senator, television host, MSNBC. A fool, dopey political pundit, one of the dumber people on television. Radner, Steve, Wall Street executive and New York Times contributing writer. Should have gone to prison. Roberts, cocky, contributor, Morning Edition. Kooky, even dumber. Rubin, Jennifer, blogger of the Washington Post. One of the dumb bloggers. In love with Marco Rubio? Scarborough, Joe, host of Morning Joe. A mess. Clown. Has gone really hostile ever since I said I wouldn't do or watch the show anymore. Not much power or insight. Schreckinger, Ben, reporter for Politico. Major lightweight with no credit. So dishonest. Molly Sims, model and actress. A disaster. Wow, okay. Smiley, Tavis, journalist for PBS. Hater and racist. Smith, Shep, anchor for Fox News. So totally biased. Should be ashamed of himself. Steyerwald, Chris, editor for Fox News Channel. One of the dumbest political pundits on television. Dope. Really dumb puppet. Thiessen, Mark, columnist and Fox News contributor. Failed. Never been able to make a comeback. A third-rate talent. Really dumb puppet. Todd. Chuck. Moderator for Meet the Press. Sleepy eyes. Man with so little touch for politics. Totally one-sided interview. Totally biased against me. Totally biased. Sleepy eyes. No ratings. So dishonest in his reporting. Was going off the air until I came along. Very dishonest. Knows so little about politics. Just hopeless. Still not nice. I saved his job. Sleepy eyes will be fired like a dog. Killing Meet the Press. Pathetic. Love watching him fail. Tur. Katie. Journalist, NBC News, should be fired. Dishonest reporting, incompetent, incorrect story, third-rate reporter, lied, dishonest. The Wall Street Journal editorial board on the opinion pages of the Wall Street Journal. Dummies. Wallace, Nicole, former co-host of The View, doesn't have a clue, a disaster. Will, George, communist, made many bad calls, lost his way long ago, one of the most overrated political pundits. Deadpan, boring, dopey, broken down political pundit. Worst of all, wrong almost all the time. Should be thrown off Fox News. Boring, totally biased, broken down. Wrong on so many subjects. Williams, Juan, political analyst, Fox News. He asked if he could have pictures taken with me. I said fine. He then trashes on air. You never speak well of me, and yet when I saw you at Fox, you ran over like a child and wanted a picture. Zucker, Jeff, president of CNN. Failed at NBC, and he's now failing at CNN. Zuckerman, Mort, owner of the New York Daily News. Dopey clown, has a major inferiority complex. And now for some other people. Abaddon, Huma, aide to Hillary Clinton, was a major security risk. Allen, John R., retired U.S. Marine General, failed bad in his fight against ISIS. His record equal bad. Ginsburg, Ruth Bader, Supreme Court Justice, incompetent judge, embarrassed all by making very dumb political statements about me. Her mind is shot. Resign. Beck, Elizabeth, lawyer. People like lawyer Elizabeth Beck and field writer Harry Hurt and others talk about me but know nothing about me. Knows nothing about me. I loved beating her. Did a terrible job against me. Easy for me to beat. She wanted to breast pump in front of me at Depp. Okay. That got awkward now. Bagala, Paul, former political advisor to Bill Clinton. Dopey has knowingly committed fraud. Bloomberg, Michael, former mayor of New York City. Little, never had the guts to run for president. His last term as mayor was a disaster. Brazil, Donna, interim chairwoman of the Democratic National Committee. Total dishonest, chokes on the truth. Jeb Bush campaign staffer, arrogant, questioned me in such a nasty fashion. Various CNN panelists, joke, biased, very dumb, boring, mostly losers in life. Cuban, Mark, owner of the Dallas Mavericks, dopey. Curiel, Gonzalo P., judge of the United States District Court for the Southern District of California. Very biased, unfair, totally biased, very unfair, totally biased. Jesus, can you fucking... Duterte Rodrigo, President of the Philippines. Terrible. Gates, Robert, former Secretary of Defense. Never liked. Dopey. Always speaks badly of his many bosses. Knows nothing about me. A total disaster. Hurt, Harry III. Or I might as well just say it, Harry Hurt III. Author, lost tycoon to many lives of Donald J. Trump. Failed writer. People like lawyer Elizabeth Beck and failed writer Harry Hurt and others talk about me but know nothing about me. Dummy dope. Wrote a failed book. Jacobus, Sherry, GOP consultant. Really dumb. Begged my people for a job. Major losers, zero credibility. Went hostile. A real dummy. Virtually incompetent. Failed career. Incoherent with anger. John Kasich's ad guy. His proposal was a ripoff. Koch, Charles, conservative donor, billionaire, philanthropist. Looking for a new puppet. Laguerre, John, chief executive of T-Mobile. Focus on running a company. Try hiring some good managers. Luis Arrow, political commentator. No clue. Luntz, Frank, political consultant. Total clown. Where did you find that dumb panel? A low-class slob. Knows nothing about me or my religion. Came to my office looking for work. Mikado, Alicia. Former Miss Universe. Disgusting. Check out sex tape and past. A con. My worst Miss Universe. Merkel, Angela, Chancellor of Germany. Ruining Germany. Moore, Russell, evangelical leader. A terrible representative of evangelicals. A nasty guy with no heart. Morrell, Michael J., former deputy director of the CIA. Lightweight, has made serious bad calls, a total Clinton flunky. Perino, Dana, former White House press secretary. Just not getting there. Powell, Colin, former Secretary of State. I was never a fan. Weak understanding of weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Rez, Barbara, former Trump executive and author of All Alone on the 68th Floor. Nasty. Roberts, John, U.S. Chief Justice. My judicial appointments will do the right thing, unlike Roberts. Let us down. Rove, Carl, former Deputy White House Chief of Staff. Failed Jeb Bushy. Never says anything good and never will. Shouldn't be on the air. Should be fired. Sick, loser, biased, unfair. Still thinks Romney won. Dummy, Fox News should can him. No credibility, loser, pushing Republicans down the same old path of defeat. Dopey, should not be allowed to do biased commentary. Establishment funky, should get a life. Dummy, just totally bombed. Loser, zero credibility. An establishment dope, made so many mistakes. Loser, dope, part of the Republican establishment problem. All talk, no action, dummy. Total fool. Dopey, purposely mischaracterized my statement. Dummy, moron, biased dope, easy to be, dopey dope, spent $430 million and lost all races, wasted $400 million, and win one race, total loser, clown with zero credibility, made a fool of himself in 2012. Zero cred, irrelevant clown, sweats and shakes nervously, no credibility, a Bush plant who called all races wrong. Clown. Schwartz, Tony, ghostwriter of The Art of the Deal. Hardly knows me, never liked his style, irrelevant dope, dummy writer, wanted to do a second book with me for years, I said no. A hostile basket case who feels jilted. Singer, Paul, hedge fund manager, Mr. Amnesty. Stevens, Stewart, political consultant. Sad, failed campaign manager amid Romney's historic loss. Failed advisor. Clown. Very incompetent. A dumb guy who fails at virtually everything he touches. Failed campaign strategist. Can't get a job. Made some of the dumbest political decisions of all time. A zero, arrogant, terrible political instincts. Ali bin Talal, Prince of Saudi Arabia. Dopey. Wants to control our U.S. politicians with daddy's money. The vandals that firebombed a GOP office in Orange County, North Carolina. He called them animals. Bob Vanderplas, president and chief executive of the Family Leader. Told phony a comment. Phony, dishonest guy. Asked me for expensive hotel rooms. A bad guy. Phony. Vandersloot, Frank, entrepreneur. Last victim was Mitt Romney. See how that turned out? Wilson, Rick, political consultant. Weak and totally conflicted. Dumb as a rock. And now for the celebrities he decided to fucking bash. We have yet to finish this damn thing. What's the fucking time? An hour. An hour into this, and we have yet to finish this shit. We have just fucking reached celebrities in the New York Times list. If you're just joining us, we're reading all of the insults Trump has done, according to the New York Times, ever since he started his candidacy for president. Last year in June. And this is some vain attempt of you trying to convince me Trump is not a complete cuck. I'm not sure, but if you think this is pretty much just going to solidify the fact. Alec Baldwin, actor, portrayal stunk. I know, I'm flopping. Goldberg, Whoopi. Actress, TV personality, down total free fall, terrible, sad. Jackson, Samuel L., actor. Don't like Samuel L. Jackson's golf swing, not athletic. Cheats, does too many TV commercials, boring, not a fan. Gillette, Penn, performer of Penn and Teller. Sad, worst show in Las Vegas, hockey garbage. What, hokey? Is that how it says it? Hokey? Hokey? I think so. Goofball atheist, never had a chance. Wrote letter to me, begged for forgiveness. Boring guy. Johnson, Woody, owner of the New York Jets. If Woody would have been with me, he would have been in the playoffs. Oliver, John, comedian and host of Last Week Tonight. Very boring and low-rated show. Rousey, Rhonda, mixed martial artist, not a nice person. Vega, Paul, former Miss Universe, hypocrite. Young, Neil, rock and roll musician, total hypocrite. Now we're going on to places. Great Britain, trying hard to disguise their massive Muslim problem. China, terrible. Germany, a total mess, big crime, going through massive attacks to its people by the migrants allowed to enter the country. Iran, doing many bad things behind our backs. Mexico, totally corrupt government, totally corrupt. We get the killers, drugs, and crime. They get money. Unbelievable corruption. Not our friend. They're killing us. New Jersey, deeply troubled. Saudi Arabia, without us, gone. America, he even bashed on America with these things. It will only get worse. A divided crime scene. Not looking tough, not looking smart, not looking good. Totally lost control of illegal immigration, even with criminals. Get tough and smart, U.S., or we won't have a country anymore. Looks more and more like a paper tiger. We are weak. We are letting criminals knowingly stay in our country. Iran ripped us off by making one of the best deals of any kind in history. Out-negotiated again. Has become a dumping ground for the world. Washington, D.C. Such a mess. Nothing works. I need a bathroom break. Now for groups and political organizations. The Jeb Bush campaign. Total waste of money, too much staff being paid way too much money. Jeb Bush supporters. Every one of those people who contributed are getting something to the detriment of America. Club for Growth, an anti-tax political group. A dumb group trying to extort $1 million from me. Disgraceful. Tried to extort $1 million from me. Total losers. Tried to shake me down for $1 million. Phony, dishonest group that represent conservative values terribly and are bad for America. Asked for $1 million. I said no and they went negative. Extortion. Went hostile with a series of incorrect and ill-informed ads. Total frauds. Crooked. False advertising. Phony. Little respected. Total hypocrites. Phony. Ted Cruz campaign. Bad. The Cruz people are back to doing very sleazy and dishonest push polls on me. Democratic presidential candidates. Very gentle and soft. No star. Democrats. Corrupt political machine. Cheating Bernie out of the nom. Crazy. In a total meltdown. It's the Democrats' total weakness that is the greatest recruiting tool of ISIS. European leaders, weak. The Islamic State, low-level degenerates, thugs, losers. Oh, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. The Obama administration. Incompetence of our current administration is beyond comprehension. Other unknown presidential candidates, mostly Republican politicians. Phony, all talk, no action. Not only breaking the spirit of the law, but the law itself. What the other candidates are doing is disgrace. The quote, politically correct fools won't even call it what it is. Radical Islam. Stop wasting time and energy on nonsense. Politicians in general. Dumb, all talk, no action. Very stupid, highly incompetent people running our country into the ground. Incompetent. We are all tired of them. Failing. Experts and never facing any consequences. Incompetent, all talk, no action. Again. The general public has got to stop working to be so politically correct. Know nothing. Pundits, poor, pathetic people. The Republican establishment. Dishonest, failing, could not stop Obama twice, out of self-reservation, is concerned with my high poll numbers. The Republican Party. Getting ready to treat me unfairly. The Republican Party of Virginia. Total mess. Stupid. Be smart and win for a change. Lost statewide 7 times in a row. Suicidal. Bad. Other Republican candidates. Mere puppets. The Republican presidential candidates. Small group of people who have suffered massive and embarrassing losses. Brought and paid for by special interests. Begged for money, etc. from the Koch brothers. Puppets. Republicans in general. So naive. Disloyal. Come at you from all sides. Don't know how to win. Selfishly opposed to me. Howling out our military. The super PACs, a total scam on our system and country. The Donald Trump opposition, totally ineffective and have been for years. U.S. leaders in general, weak, ineffective, we are being led to slaughter. Washington insiders have made a U.S. a mess. Now for the media organizations. ABC News Politics, lie! Associated Press, false, has one of the worst reporters in the business. Dishonest reporting, always looking for a hit to bring them back into relevancy. Ain't working. Reuters has a far more professional operation. Reporting is terrible and highly inaccurate. Now irrelevant. They have lost their way and are no longer credible. Should change their fraudulent story. CNBC. Crazy. Fictitious polling numbers. Sad. Continues to report fictitious poll numbers. Pushing the GOP around. Ridiculous debate terms. CNN. Oh boy. Fraud. Totally dishonest. Really pathetic. Everyone knows they are biased. Fortunately, they have bad ratings. The worst. So negative. Bad product. Really bad. Clinton News Network. Little watched. Ratings are so low and getting worse. Boring anti-Trump panelists. Mostly losers in life. Just don't get it. Their news on me is fiction. A disgrace to the broadcasting industry. An arm of the Clinton campaign. Unwatchable. So disgusting and biased. Ratings challenged. Constantly phony reporting. Turns everyone off. Failing. Total dishonest. Low ratings. Anchors are completely out of touch with everyday people. Will soon be the least trusted name in news. Laughable. Sad. Don't watch CNN. Panels are so one-sided. Low ratings. The worst. Dumb one-sided panels. The Clinton News Network. People don't like. I don't watch. All negative. Guests are stacked for crooked Hillary. Few people are watching. Dead network. Softball questions. I don't watch it anymore. All negative when it comes to me. Losing all credibility. Clinton News Network. Totally biased. One big lie. Shows are predictable garbage. So biased. Getting more and more biased. Clinton News Network. So negative. Getting even worse. Don't watch CNN. I no longer watch. Bad television. Working hard to make me look as bad as possible. Very unprofessional. Terrible panel. Angry haters. So negative it is impossible to watch. Really one-sided and unfair reporting. Dishonest reporting. So sad. Paid a fortune for an Iowa poll which shows me first place over Cruz by 13%, 33-20. Then don't use it. When will at CNN get some real political talent? Totally one-sided and biased against me. That has become boring. Only says negative. Bad reporters. Just plain dumb. Does not cover me accurately. Why can't they get it right? Rating starved. The Daily Beast. Failing. Money losing. The Des Moines Register. Failing. I think something's going on with them. Ultra-liberal. Seriously failing. They lie. Failing. Ultra-liberal. Has no power in Iowa. Forbes. Failed magazine. Circulation way down. Failing. Fortune. Few people know that Fortune magazine is still in business. Fox News. How many times can the same people ask the same question? Totally biased and disgusting. In the bag. Clown announcers. So biased it is disgusting. Only puts negative people on. Biased, a total joke. The only network that does not even mention my very successful event last night. Childish writing and taunting PR statement. The statement put out yesterday by Fox News was a disgrace to good broadcasting and journalism. Without me, they have no ratings. Pathetic. Treats me so bad. Not fair. Why doesn't at Fox News quote the News Iowa at CNN poll where I have a 33% to 20% lead over Ted Cruz and all others? Think about it. Has been treating me unfairly. Other networks seems to treat me so much better than Fox News. Only Fox News is consistently fighting the Trump win. Should be ashamed of yourself. Not very good at professional. Or professional. The Huffington Post should change their fraudulent story. Money losing, money losing. They only write bad stories about me. Money losing. NBC News, very dishonest. National Review, over, dying, losing for years, failing, dying. Very few people read, failing, lost its way. The New Hampshire Union Leader, highly unethical, won't survive, failing, kicked out of the ABC News debate like a dog. They aren't worthy of representing the great people of New Hampshire. Circulation dropping to record lows. Lost all credibility. Endorsed a candidate he can't win. Unethical record. Failing. Stupid. Desperate. Begged me for ads. Bad management. Run to the ground. We'll be dead in 2 years. Dying. In turmoil. Dying. Very unethical. Dying. The New York Daily News. Failing, dead, worthless, bleeding red ink, a total loser, worthless, nobody reads it, dying tabloid. It is dead. Oh, and now the New York Times. It is a lengthy one too. Just write whatever they want to write, making us sources along the way. Don't even call us anymore. Failing, irresponsible intent, failing, really disgusting, a laughing stock rag. Willing to say anything, has gone nuts, more failing, seriously failing. Only writes dishonest hits, no longer a credible source. At the back of the pack, not reported properly, dying newspaper, more failings. Gets worse and worse by the day, the reporting is fiction, very dishonest. Newspaper of fiction. More failings. A joke. These people are sick. Total lie. So totally dishonest. Very dishonest. More failing. Very sad. Every article is unfair and biased. Will always take a good story about me and make it bad. More failings. A disgusting fraud. A joke. False, malicious, and libellous. Total dishonest. Fraud. So dishonest. Totally dishonest. Dishonest! Wow, I had so many calls from high-ranking people laughing at the stupidity of the failing New York Times piece. More failings. Everyone is laughing at the piece at the Times for the lame hit piece they did on me and women. Wrote yet another hit piece on me. Has lost its way, trying to belittle the most inaccurate coverage constantly. Bad, becoming irrelevant. A seriously failing newspaper. Covers me so inaccurately. Failing. Really bad people. Never even called a fact check. They knowingly write lies. Truly one of the worst newspapers. More failings. Allowing dishonest writers to totally fabricate stories. Change your false story. Boring articles. Should focus on fair and balanced reporting. Sad! Big help will be needed fast. Incompetent. Made all bad decisions over the last decade. Dopes. Poorly run a marriage. Should be focused on good reporting and the paper's financial survival. Failing. Political. Almost everybody quitting. In total disarray. Bad dishonest journalists. Losing too much money. Great news. Going out of business. Bad reporting. No money, no cred. No credibility. Third-rate money losing. If they were legit, they'd be doing far better. Some very untalented reporters. Money losing. Considered by many in the world of politics to be the dumbest and most slanted of the political sites. Losers. A scam. Dishonest. Pure scum. Dishonest. No power. Clowns. Dishonest. Serious haters. Really dishonest. Losing lots of money. Failing. Not read or respected by many. Go out of the way to distort the truth. Covers me more inaccurately than any other news source. Redstate.com. Small crowds. USA Today will lose readers. Univision. Doing real badly. Too much debt and not enough viewers. Need money fast. Controlled by Mexican government? Vanity Fair. Doing really poorly. Has gotten worse and worse. Lost almost all of its former allure. Failing. Shh, where is it? We're almost there, guys. The Wall Street Journal. Bad at math. Nobody cares what they say in their editorials anymore. Especially me. Seldom had a paper been so wrong. Failing. Reported cruise momentum, but nothing about the fact that I easily won. So dishonest. Purposely mischaracterized my statement. Failing, so totally wrong. Dummy, so wrong so often. Loves to write badly about me. Some of the dumbest people on television work for the Wall Street Journal. Looks like a tabloid. Ever dwindling. Washington Post. Put together a hit job book on me. Inaccurate stories. Don't buy. Boring. Dishonest. Phony. Tax scam. Inaccurate. Dishonest reporting. Bad. Big tax shelter. Loses a fortune. The Weekly Standard. Small and slightly failing magazine. I'm hanging in there. We're almost done with this, and I'm going to conclude the stream once we're done with this and get last minute comments. What's my time? 1 hour 21. Yikes, we've been at this for a little while. And now we've reached television shows that Donald Trump has insulted. Anderson Cooper 360. Waste. Inside Politics. 1 hour of lies. Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Unwatchable. Meet the Press. Totally biased against me. Did a 1 hour hit job on me. Totally biased and mostly false. Dishonest. Very dishonest. Terrible ratings. Rating starved. Morning Joe. Low ratings. Unwatchable. Low rated. Sad and irrelevant. Low ratings. Sad. Little watched. Gone off the deep end. Bad ratings. Nobody's watching. Low ratings. Small audience. They misrepresented my positions. Rapidly fading. Off the rails. Wasted time. So off. New Day on CNN. Treats me very badly. Not going to watch anymore. The O'Reilly Factor. Why don't you have some knowledgeable talking heads on your show for a change? Boring. The View. Total disaster. Failing so bad it would soon be taken off the air. Close to death. Dead TV. Put it to sleep. World News Tonight. Bad reporting. And now for just generalized other bullshit that Donald Trump has insulted. And this will probably be the last section. The 2016 election. Media rigged. Absolutely being rigged. Being rigged by the media in a coordinated effort with the Clinton campaign. Rigged. ABC News Washington Post poll. Disgrace. Dishonest. All Business, the Essential Donald Trump, a documentary, a total waste of time, a joke. Amazon.com. If at Amazon ever had to pay fair taxes, its stock would crash and it will crumble like a paper bag. At Washington Post scam is saving it. No profit company. The American delegate system. Rigged, totally rigged. The system is rigged. The books are cooked. Totally rigged, rig. Don't let the bosses take your vote. The rules did change in Colorado shortly after I entered the race in June because the politicians and their bosses knew that I would win with the voters. Great people being disenfranchised by politicians. Republican Party is in trouble. The people of Colorado had their vote taken away from them by the phony politicians. Totally unfair. I win state and votes and then get non-representative delegates because they are all offered all sorts of goodies by Cruz campaign. Bad system. The sexual assault allegations. Totally phony, 100% made up, already proven false, made up events that never happened, totally made up nonsense to steal the election, 100% fabricated, made up, pushed strongly by the media and the Clinton campaign, may poison the minds of the American voter. The Brandon Dunes Golf Resort, a toy by comparison. The Benghazi hearings, a total disaster for Republicans in America. The Bias-Free Language Guide to Politically Sensitive Speaking, an outrage. The Bill Hillary and Chelsea Clinton Foundation, a criminal enterprise. Common Core Standards, a disaster. The Iowa caucus speech by Ted Cruz, rambling, overly flamboyant. The Cruz-Kasich Pact, ridiculous, dumb, dead on arrival, joke of a deal, not being honored, almost dead, very dumb. The League Democratic National Committee emails. Bad judgment. Really dumb. Should never have been written. Stupid. Debates. Really dumb but record-setting. The Democratic debate. Very boring. Really boring. The Democratic National Convention. Pathetic. Has paid zero respect to the great police and law enforcement professionals. Fucking liar. Sad. The Republican convention was far more interesting with a much more beautiful set. Total mess. Electoral process. Rigged. Allow Clinton to get away with murder. Rigged. Very unfair. Rigged. Totally rigged and corrupt. Twice. Fox News debate. Failed. Poorly rated. The debate tonight will be a total disaster. Fox News poll. Another phony hit job on me. Illegal immigration. Crime and killing machine. The IRS. I unfairly get audited by the IRS almost every year. The Iran nuclear deal. Terrible, horrendous, horrible, really sad, horribly negotiated, truly stupid, insane, incompetent, horrible, one of the most incompetent ever made, terrible, will lead to at least partial world destruction, is a catastrophe, one of the dumbest and most dangerous misjudgments ever, poses direct national security threat. Macy's store. Very disloyal company, one of the worst performing stocks. Don't shop there for Christmas. Very disloyal to me. Racial profiling. Far better stores. No guts, no glory. Macy's stores suck and they are bad for USA. No guts, no glory. Wow, I heard thousands of people are cutting up their Macy's credit card. Terrible hypocrites. So many people calling to say they're cutting up their credit card. Macy's stock just dropped. They racial profile all over the place. Racist. Weak on border security? What? Mainstream media has deceived the public by putting women front and center with made-up stories and lies. Dishonest, distorted, rigging election, pushing false and unsubstantiated charges and outright lies. Dishonest, want me out of the race so badly. Totally one-sided spin. Very dishonest, made-up lies. Never covered Hillary's massive hacking or coughing attack. It is being reported by virtually everyone and is a fact that the media pile on against me is the worst in American political history. Corrupt, dishonest. My rallies are not covered properly. Never discuss the real message. Corrupt, disgusting, dishonest, desperate to distract from Clinton's anti-2A stance. Very dishonest, totally destroyed on many things on purpose, totally biased, dishonest, distorted, biased, one-sided, more dishonesty. Coverage this morning with the very average Clinton speech and convention is a joke. Phony, more dishonest. We'll find good spin. Bias, spending more time doing forensic analysis on Melania's speech than the FBI spent on Hillary emails. If I make a statement, they twist it and turn it to make it sound bad or foolish. So dishonest. They think the public's stupid. I can't argue with there. Trying their absolute best to depict a star in a tweet as the Star of David rather than a sheriff star or a plain star. Dishonest, so totally biased, dishonest, one big lie, totally biased, phony, biased, on a new phony kick about my management style, dishonest, disgusting, really on a witch hunt against me, false reporting and plenty of it, pushing the false narratives that I want to raise taxes, unfair, has not covered my long shot, great finish on Iowa fairly, sad, able to so incorrectly define a word for the public. Dishonest reporters, dishonest, always tough with when they falsify, won't report. Dishonest, wants to surrender constitutional rights. They only want negatives, will not report the highly respected new national poll out. How will the media put a negative spin on this one? Troublemakers? Despite their best efforts, the people are speaking loudly and clearly. Total dishonest, so sad, lies. Major League Baseball. So ridiculous, he says. The microphone at the first presidential debate. Very bad, really bad. Many New York Times articles. Phony, total fabrication, such a bad reporting, a puff piece. NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. Worst deal in U.S. history. The worst economic deal in U.S. history. NATO, the North American Treaty Organization, obsolete. Obamacare, aka the Affordable Health Care Act, disastrous, a complete disaster, horrible disaster, disaster, just the beginning, and it's gonna get worse. He even talked about a podium in a fucking Oval Office that said, looks odd, not good. Political ads in Indiana, false and phony. Protesters at the Trump rallies. Thugs 6 times in a fucking row. Horrendous. Republican National Committee, weak. Did a terrible job of ticket distribution. Illegally put out a fundraising notice saying Trump wants you to contribute to the RNC. Neil Young's song, Rockin' in the Free World. Didn't love it. Saturday Night Live, boring, unfunny show, should be canceled. They forgot to put that on there. Special interest groups, billions of dollars being spent on false ads by special interest groups who own Rubio and Cruz. Control our political puppets, spending $25 million on misleading and fraudulent TV ads. State of the Union address. Oh God. I almost threw up. State of the Union, one of the most boring, rambling, and non-substantive I have heard in a long time. Really boring, slow, lethargic, very hard to watch. Super Bowl 50, very boring. T-Mobile, I think the service is terrible. The TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, job killing, job killer, fraud, terrible. The TSA, the Transportation Security Administration, falling apart. The triumph of William McKinley, terrible and boring. U.S. government, the U.S. employment situation, terrible, bombshell. The U.S.-Mexico border, totally out of control, U.S. absolutely disgraceful. U.S. trade pacts, bad, terrible. U.S. government, too much staff being paid way too much money. U.S. visa system, broken like so much else in our country. Veterans Affairs, corrupt, incompetence. Voters, I don't believe I have been given any credit by the voters for the self-funding my campaign. Funny? I don't think so. Wall Street Journal and NBC News poll came out with another one of their phony polls. Totally discredited. Phony. A joke. Phony. Early voting in Florida. Dishonest. Very dishonest. Investigation of Hillary Clinton's email. Rigged. And fucking lastly, television commercials critical to Mr. Trump. A fraud. Pathetic. Paid for by the politicians' bosses. A total hashtag. Media frog. The fucking end. It's just fucking... Fucking hell. It's such a joke. All Trump is just an arrogant bully. Fucking blonde haired, orange tanned, fucking bully. And I fucking hate bullies. I grew up with them in school. Just pushing you around because they're fucking arrogant enough and capable enough to bully. All this fucking thing is just fucking rewarding the bully with the fucking keys to the Oval Office and the title of President of the United fucking States. Fucking ass backwards. No wonder why we're fucking laughed at. Punish the honest, reward the fucking bully with keys to the fucking White House. I feel sick now. I feel really sick. I'm gonna just take a break, hang out with a few friends. I'll talk to you guys later.